What's up, ladies and gents? I hope you're doing well. It's your boy back at it again with another video. How we all doing? So today is the first time I've done one of these. I'm doing a ranking video. Yes, I've been watching a lot of franchises recently, and I decided I was going to rank the entire Chucky / Child's Play franchise, because as you know, I've recently bought this box set which comes with all of the films in, plus the documentary, link in the description. So I thought I would give these films a ranking. Yeah, like I said, I haven't done a ranking video before, and we're just going to get onto it. Like I said, this is just my own opinion. If you disagree with anything I say, leave a dislike and go make your own video. That's basically it. This is my opinion on the franchise. If you don't like it, that's just, it's up to you, innit? It feels subjective. So yeah, got me Chucky hoodie on. So let's get right into the video. We'll say I'm going to keep the TV show and I'm going to keep the documentary off of this list because obviously it's a TV show and a documentary isn't a film. At the same time, I'd like to mention that the documentary is fantastic, especially after watching the whole franchise and then finishing on Living with Chucky. It was a really good, insightful look into like the franchise and everyone who's been a part of it over the years. It was really nice. It was really heartwarming at the end as well, like hearing everyone's relationship with each other. Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good documentary. It's really well made. Yeah, I would really recommend watching the Living with Chucky documentary. But yeah, let's get on with the video. So coming in 7th spot, we're going to go with Child's Play 3. Yes, Child's Play 3. Unfortunately, yeah, it just wasn't as good as I remember it, unfortunately, because obviously, like if you've watched my Chucky collection unboxing video, I did recently watch this again. I've watched all of them, but yeah, this DVD is really battered. But yeah, unfortunately, there just wasn't a lot in it for me that really just as good as the rest of them, unfortunately. I know some people are going to be like crazy that I didn't put Seed, this, and last spot, but yeah, just this was just quite uninteresting. It was getting to that point in the franchise where there's a lot more just cheap one-liners, and the kills are okay for the most part. Characters not super interesting. How, like, the explanation of Chucky coming back to life after number 2 felt very flimsy. I know it's in the beginning bit, like obviously they move his body and his blood gets into the new doll, and that means his soul gets transferred or whatever. But I just think the explanation was, apart from that intro, was loosely just ignored for most of the movie. Yeah, just very uninteresting. Obviously, we don't have the original actor back as Andy Barclay. Obviously, he was too old to be said character. Yeah, just really wasn't that interesting, to be honest. I do think there are some good moments in this as well, like the balls to the wall bit. Like, I like the fact it's set on a military school. I think that was quite an interesting setting for a horror movie. The bit where Chucky swaps out all of the ammunition and they end up shooting each other, like these kids are shooting each other. That's balls to the wall. I'll give it that. And the ending sequence of the theme park and in the ghost train is really cool. I really like that. I think Chucky's death in this one is quite wild. It's shot really well, but at the same time, I know it's obviously supposed to be indoors, but you can kind of tell that it's a sound stage, not an actual thing. But yeah, no, yeah, Child's Play 3 unfortunately takes the bottom spot as my least interesting one. It was the one where I was probably the most bored in. I'll say that. But yeah, unfortunately, Child's Play 3 comes in last place. In 6th place, we're going to go with Colt of Chucky. Yes. Obviously the follow-up to the reimagination, like soft reboot of the series, but not really. Curse. Yeah, I quite enjoyed Curse. We'll get to that in a little bit, but obviously the follow-on from it, this just felt a little bit, it wasn't what I was expecting. It just, yeah, I don't think it really followed up as much. There's some cool ideas in this, like obviously the idea of multiple Chuckies and stuff like that was really cool. Bringing back a load more characters, getting to see Andy again properly is really nice. And following, what's her face? Obviously following Nika again after her traumatic experience in Curse. I like her. I like Fiona Dourif as Nika. I think she's great. I really enjoy her. Yeah, but overall, I don't know. Just it has this fit. It feels like it's one of those films that is trying to do something more out there for the series, like obviously multiple Chuckies and stuff like that. It just feels like its runtime is too short to fully explore this new idea, and there's load more returning characters and a lot more plot lines going on, and I just feel like there's so many characters who could be at base seem quite interesting, but there's just not enough runtime to do it all justice, and it just feels like it's a bit of a mess here and there. Also, it's a very boring film to look at, like inside the asylum. I think it's just white and grey walls, very boring, very like not visually interesting. But yeah, this is more memorable. Like I remember more of what's going on in this film. Like when I went before I started doing my rewatch again, there was more that I remembered about this film than there was Child's Play 3. So yeah, Colt of Chucky takes the 6th spot on my list. Just yeah, it was I was less bored watching this than I was Child's Play 3. And yeah, nice to see Tiff and Andy back, and yeah, following Nika as well. Like I said, I did really like Nika, and there was some of the insane asylum, I don't know, the mental hospital patients were quite interesting as well. But yeah, it's just I felt like it could have been more. But unfortunately, it just wasn't that. In 5th place, we're gonna go with Seed of Chucky. This is when we get onto the point where every film from here I did quite enjoy, but yeah, this film is absolutely fucking balls to the wall. There is so much going on, and again, I feel like it just has that problem of the runtime is far too short, and it's got cool ideas that it wants to explore, but it just doesn't do it justice. Like, they've got a kid, and he comes over, and yeah, his identity crisis, and they want to be a family again, and whatever. So there's a cool family dynamic here, and it'd be really interesting to see it explore more deeply. But yeah, just otherwise in this film, it doesn't have it. And because it's got this cool family drama, it feels like the kills are just shoehorned in a little bit. Like, it's one of those things where you want to explore more within the horror within your franchise, like a horror franchise, but obviously it's a slasher franchise, so you have to have the wild kills in there and stuff like that. So I feel like they just feel a little jarring here and there. I can't lie to you. I'm just not like I would have. Again, I'd rather if they had more time to explore what was going on and what they wanted to say more about this. But this film also, like, it fucking flies by. Like, I was watching it, and then I was like, how far are we into the movie? Because I like to see, I'm weird with structure and stuff like that. I just like to see where the first, the second, and the third act is happening. And I looked at it, I clicked on it, I was like, we're 50 minutes in already? I was like, it just absolutely flies by, and I'm just like, because it's so fucking bonkers, it's like, yeah, it just absolutely flies by. It's quite entertaining, just about how it's the most out there Chucky film, for sure. It's just incredibly balls to the wall. Everyone seems like they're having a fun time or whatever. But yeah, I feel like it didn't get across all of what it wanted to talk about. But yeah, I still quite enjoy it for what it is. It's so early 2000s. But yeah, that is Seed of Chucky takes the 5th space. In 4th place, we're gonna go with Curse of Chucky. Soft reboot for the franchise, going back to its more horror roots, and I quite enjoy it, to be fair. Like you can tell that the franchise has had a massive budget cut, so they've had to work within the restraints and setting it all in one location, bringing new characters into it, and being a bit more suspense, trying to go more for the suspenseful angle. Yeah, I think it really works. I think it really works. Also, with Chucky obviously having to cover his scars and whatever, he looks so, like, I don't know, the new look that he's got in this movie is really unsettling. I think it's really creepy. Like, I don't know, just because it obviously doesn't look like the original good guy doll from the original films, because obviously Chucky looks fantastic in all of those original 5 movies, but in this one he looks so unsettling, and then the reveal and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really cool. Like I said, I like Nika. I like who's the young girl? I can't remember her name. It's Alice. I think that's the young girl's name. Her niece. Yeah, and her sister. It's quite wild. Some cool kills in this one as well, but yeah, I appreciate this one because it tried to go for a more suspenseful angle, a lot more on the creepy horror, eerie atmosphere. I really enjoyed, liked it. The budget only really showed itself in a couple of spots. The really big bit was the courtroom scene at the end when they just have all the evidence laid out in front of it. I'm just like, those look so much like props, it hurts. But yeah, it takes the fourth spot. It's pretty it's pretty entertaining. But yeah, interesting. And obviously the post-credit scene as well is yeah, just when you see that you're like, oh shit, fuck yeah, that's sick. And then unfortunately it was followed by Curse, and we've already talked about how I feel about Curse. In third place, we're going to go with Bride of Chucky, and you're probably thinking, what the fuck, why is Bride of Chucky in third place? Because it's following on from number 3, which I felt like this series lost a lot of steam after the fantastic first 2 movies. This took a whole completely different angle and became more of a horror comedy where it's a simple premise: Chucky's ex-girlfriend hears about his death, tries to bring her back to life, and then unfortunately like realizes he's not all that's cracked up to be. So yeah, they both turn into dolls, and then there's them just trying to escape being dolls basically. And yeah, that late 90s screamy horror feel, I really like that. That's probably why I really enjoy this movie. It's quite funny as well. I think the 2 people that they kidnap as well is quite interesting. Like, they're quite entertaining, I would say, at least. Like, this is just a really entertaining movie. It's, again, balls to the wall. It's so contrastly different from the first 3. Like, obviously the first 3 have humor in, but this is just a totally different feeling to it. And yeah, I just really enjoy it for that, to be honest. I'm glad that it didn't stick to the traditional slasher elements that 3 had done, because obviously by 3 it just felt like it'd run out of steam, whereas this one, yeah, more life in the series. And it also has one of my favourite intros where Tiff is putting Chucky back together, and you've got a Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie playing over the top. Yeah, no, really good. And also Chucky's scarred look is an iconic look. It's a really good look, and I don't think it's ever looked as good as it did in Bride of Chucky. So the number 2 spot has to go to the original Child's Play, and probably thinking, whoa, why is that not in number 1? I will say the reason I put this in number 1, I think it's a fantastic horror movie. It is one of my favorite, like, Child's Play is one of my, Chucky and Child's Play are one of my favorite horror movies of, like, franchise of all time. I really like this, but it's just like, I think what edges number 1 over why I put this number 2 is because this is my second most rewatched in the franchise. I will say I do really enjoy this. Andy and stuff like that. Like, no one believes him, and it's really sad to watch, because you think to yourself, "Fucking hell, this poor child is hanging around with a fucking serial killer who's voodooed himself into a doll, and no one believes him. Everyone thinks he's crazy. Everyone thinks he's killed his aunt and stuff like that." And that'd be a horrible thing to try and comprehend as a 6-year-old, wouldn't it? You're just like, "Fucking hell, this poor kid." Yeah. And also this film, when I rewatched it, I was like, I can't believe like how big it is. Like, I remember that obviously the beginning, the toy shop exploding, and they blow up a fucking house and everything, and obviously they set him on fire. Like, this budget feels fucking huge for this movie. 80s movies were fucking crazy, weren't they? Yeah. Yeah, Chucky looks good, but he doesn't look as the best as he ever done. Like, the animatronic is very obvious. Obviously, you've got the scenes with dwarfism is in the costume, and that looks quite funny, because you know that's just a costume and just the way it's shot. But yeah, no, it's really good. It is, like I said, it's my second favourite in the franchise. I really like the atmosphere, the music as well. I really like the music in this film. It's really, really good, and just the level of production design that they go into in this movie is incredible. Like, the adverts, the toy boxes, the toy lines, the good guy dolls themselves are absolutely fantastic. And yeah, Child's Play 1 was a great way to start the franchise. But obviously, coming in at number 1, the only one that hasn't been mentioned is Child's Play 2. And this one is my favourite. I've rewatched this the most. I absolutely love this sequel, because it's everything good about the first one, but it's just dialed up to 11. Like, again, the whole toy factory, they make a whole fucking toy factory as well. That finale is incredible, the way you would want a film about a killer doll to end. Chucky looks fantastic. Like, they had 9 people working on Chucky at a time to do the animatronic and stuff like that, and it really shows, because he moves for the most part very fluidly. The doll looks fantastic. Like, it has my favorite intro in the franchise, where they're cleaning him up and everything. It looks super crisp, and on that 4K transfer, oh, it looked fantastic, I can't lie. Andy as well, being like, nah, fuck this, if Chucky's coming back, I'm gonna take a stand. And I really like that. Like, the fact is like, yeah, I can't let, he knows what he wants, and obviously he doesn't want this guy to kill him and stuff like that. He's obviously unfortunately lost his mum because she's been put into a mental hospital, so he's having to bounce around from foster home to foster home, which is obviously, it must be hard. Again, probably, I think this is set, I don't know if it's set half a year afterwards or a full year afterwards, so about 7 years old, 6 to 7 years old again. So yeah, it just, yeah, follows on really well. Alex Vincent plays Andy very well. I really like Christine Elise as Rachel, I think her name is. Yeah, she was really good as well. And yeah, just overall, I just love Child's Play 2. I've always loved this movie. I'm sorry I've got a bit of an itchy nose, but yeah, I think it's fantastic. Music's great. The set design is fantastic. Chucky looks fantastic. It's really well paced, and yeah, got some really good kills as well. Most of the loads of iconic kills in this one, and again, the way they kill him at the end is absolutely fantastic. Balls to the wall. Love Child's Play 2. And there you have it, folks. That is my ranking of the Child's Play Chucky franchise. I hope you did enjoy this video. Like I said, leave in the comments below what you think your ranking of the franchise is. Would be very interested to know what you think. Yeah, and if you dislike this video, make your own. That's basically all I can say, really. Film is subjective, and if you don't like my choices, then that's on you, buddy. That's on you. Nothing I can do about it. These are just the way I like them. So yeah. Anyway, that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first ranking video that I've ever done. I've got another one in the pipeline. So yeah, that being said, guys, I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.